Hello, everybody. Welcome back to ManBunBooks. Today is an exciting day because I am finally doing something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and that is rank my top 10 series of all time. There's gonna be some sci-fi in here, there's gonna be some fantasy in here, might be some other stuff. We'll see. Seeing as I just started this channel, you can kind of see what I've read, where my tastes kind of are, to see if my videos are going to be for you. It's going to be a lot of fun. Huge shout out to my brother Brandon, who is a professional editor. He's going to make this video look really cool and everything because I don't know how to edit and I usually just ramble. He's going to make it look cool because it's something a little more special today. Couple warnings before we get into it. Number one is I will not go into spoilers for any of these series. It'll be completely spoiler free, just in case I can convince you to read one of them if you haven't yet. Second of all is that this list is very subjective and is my own personal taste. I might have a book higher or a series higher that is extremely well written, but the characters aren't great, or I might have a series that's extremely well written and the prose is incredible and it's like way down here, and another series that's not as well written, maybe up here. It just depends. I love these books all for different reasons, and the rankings on these change all the time. Spots probably 4 through 7 change on a daily basis. So we'll see what happens here. Let's get into the list. My top 10 favorite book series I have ever read to date. Number 10, we have The Faithful and the Fallen by John Gwynne. I am including Of Blood and Bone, which is the second trilogy in this one. This is a 4-book series with a trilogy of 3 after the 4, which is well worth your time. I'm including all 7 in this ranking. John Gwynne. This is a Celtic-inspired fantasy. It's very traditional. You have the farm boy leaving home, you have prophecy, you have all kinds of cool Celtic stuff in here, you have giants, kind of Roman-inspired things in here as well. And John Gwynne's battle scenes are the best I have ever read. The fighting and the battles, and like you can have a battle scene in these books that sometimes will last for like 300 pages and you do not get bored. Bouncing around different parts of the battle. The combat's incredible. John Gwynne is a reenactor, so he actually fights in shield walls and stuff for reenactments and everything. It shows in his combat. It's absolutely incredible. Great series. Malice is book 1. Check it out if you want, but Faithful and the Fallen, incredible. At number 9, we have Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This has the potential to jump way high on my list. The reason it is at number 9 is because I just finished it this month. I finished Lightbringer this month, so it needs time to settle. It needs time to marinate. I can't just throw it way up high with some of my all-time favorites if I just finished it, because there's recency bias and all that stuff. But I love this series. There's already a bunch of videos on my channel about Red Rising, but basically sci-fi, space opera, futuristic, Roman-inspired world, color-based society with golds on the top and reds on the bottom. It's about revolution, it's about war, it's about honor, it's about friendship, it's about everything. I love, love, love this series. Pierce Brown's the man. Check out Red Rising. It's so good. All right. Number 8. We have A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin. This is a really little, not very well-known series. I hope gets some traction. I'm just kidding. It's probably one of the biggest series in the last 30 years. Game of Thrones is book 1. I watched season 1 of the show and then decided I need to read these books. So I read all 5 of the books and they blew the top of my head open. I lived in Westeros for a while in my head, looking up all the myths, the legends, the lore, everything. This is a very dark series at times, and nothing is off the table as far as what can happen. The political intrigue in A Song of Ice and Fire is the best I've ever read. Some of the characters are the best I've ever read. Tyrion Lannister has one of the best arcs of any character ever in fiction. I will make that statement very confidently. Song of Ice and Fire, a modern classic. It's incredible. Go check it out. Political intrigue, darkness, gripping on the edge of your seat plot that you can't put down. Incredible book. Incredible series. Number 7, we have Malazan Book of the Fallen by Steven Erikson. This series, oh man, is hard to talk about because it is 10 books long, and you see how thin this one is? Book number 1. This is one of the densest series I've ever read in my life. It takes place on 3 different continents. The world is the most fantasy world you will ever experience in your life. You can have a portal rip open in the middle of a battle, and you can have demons and frickin' 7-foot tall dark elves with swords that eat your soul stepping out of a rent in the world and like throwing magic around that's leveling mountains. It's epic with a capital E. This series kind of had me lost for the first little while. It takes a little bit, he doesn't hold your hand at all, so it takes a little bit to get into it, but once you're into it, the way he connects everything together, the way he pulls all the threads in by book number 10, he pulls off something that I have never seen before in my life, and it is so extremely impressive. If you feel like just sitting down with something really complex and epic and incredible, and just losing yourself for 6 months, a year, whatever, in this world, it is well worth your time. I'm doing a reread at some point. First book, Gardens of the Moon, I've read like 3 times. First time to try and get into it, second time when I read the series, and then I started a reread not too long ago, so it's 3 times for this one, but incredible series. I can't wait to do a full reread of the whole thing and just appreciate knowing what's going on and seeing all the subtext and things, because Erikson's incredible. Check that one out. At number 6, we have The Realm of the Elderlings by Robin Hobb. This could go a lot higher as well once I'm done. I've only read the first 3 trilogies. I'm gonna talk about emotional trauma. Robin Hobb writes incredible characters. It has a lot of political intrigue, a lot of court politics. The first trilogy, you basically follow a royal bastard named Fitz, who gets dropped off at the castle by his grandfather, who basically says, "This is the prince-in-waiting's bastard. Take care of him. I can't feed him anymore. See ya." And he leaves. You kind of follow this kid growing up from a boy to a man. You go to other parts of the world. The first trilogy is with Fitz. Second trilogy jumps to a different part of the world. Third trilogy comes back to Fitz. Those are the 3 I've read so far. There are 16 books in total, I believe. So I've only read 9, so I've still got 5 to go, or 7 to go. 7 to go, good leave. But this has potential to go really high. Can't wait to keep going with the series. So I just need a break. Sometimes the emotional trauma is real in this series, man. Sometimes you need breaks to kind of recover yourself a little bit. The Realm of the Elderlings. Incredible series. Well worth your time. Number 5, we have First Law by Joe Abercrombie. I am including the first trilogy, which is Blade Itself, Before They Are Hanged, and Last Argument of Kings. Then there's 3 standalones that kind of transition the world along a timeline, kind of, and then the later trilogy, which kind of starts an industrial revolution age kind of thing, which is called Age of Madness. I'm including the entire First Law world in this. Joe Abercrombie has a nickname. It is Lord Grimdark. This series is dark as hell, but it's so funny at the same time. He uses dark humor and kind of gallows humor type stuff to get you through this dark world. It's amazing. Characters are incredible. If you haven't noticed by now, I'm kind of a character reader. I love characters. I'm not always interested in the big worlds and the big things. You have incredible characters, I'm in. Some of Abercrombie's characters are iconic. You have Sandan Glokta, an ex-nobleman, fencer, party boy, playboy, who gets tortured in war and is now a torturer for the Inquisition. You have Logan Ninefingers, who's a barbarian from the north. You have Shivers, who's also another barbarian from the north. You have Jazaldan Luther, who's just like admiring his chin all the time and how perfect it is and how handsome he is. These books are incredible. It's more about the character in this book than it is about plot sometimes, which I really enjoy. That not to say there's no plot. There's a lot of great plot, and later books in the last trilogy, the plot is breakneck, fast-paced, incredible. Great set of books. Not for the faint of heart, but it's well worth your time. First Law, incredible. Number 4, we have The Gentleman Bastard Sequence by Scott Lynch. I have read the whole series, which is there's only 3 books out right now, but I have read all three of those at least 3 times each. And Lies of Locke Lamora, book 1, is one of my favorite books of all time. You follow Locke, who is a thief, a con artist, and his little gang called the Gentleman Bastards. You have Locke Lamora, his best friend Jean Tannen, and the rest of the gang. I'm not going to say anything else because spoilers. They're just so much fun, man. Imagine the dialogue of Quentin Tarantino and the swearing level of Quentin Tarantino mixed with like the swords and hats and flourishes of like the Spanish-Italian Renaissance era, set in a world that has like cities based on Venice, where you have gangs pulling cons on rich noblemen. Really, really enjoyable to read. The friendship between Locke and Jean is one of the best in fiction, in my opinion. I love their friendship. I love their relationship. I love the stuff they go into together, the hijinks. Locke is an incredibly complex, interesting character. The hijinks and cons have you guessing all the time. It's super, super fun. Check out this series. Well worth your time. Before I get into the top 3, these are my all-time favorites. Sometimes the order of these 3 switches. These are my 3 favorite worlds, stories that I've ever read. They have a very, very special place in my heart. So at number 3, we have Discworld by Terry Pratchett. Oh man, everything that is awesome about British humor and Monty Python, combined with everything that is awesome about fantasy, combined with everything that is awesome about the human condition. Discworld has a little bit of something for everybody. It is kind of a absurdist, well, people say absurdist. I don't really like the word absurdist for this series, but it's kind of an over-the-top on purpose, maybe might be the best way to say it, fantasy world, where you have Great Atuin, the sky turtle, flying through space. On his back, you have 4 elephants, and resting on those 4 elephants is the Discworld. Yeah, that's what we're getting into here. He uses this really ridiculous, funny world to explore all kinds of cool things about the human condition. I'm holding up Guards because this is the first book, Discworld book I ever read, but Discworld is kind of split into different subsections that you can kind of read out of order if you want to. You have the Death books. Death is a character in the Discworld, yes. He's great. You have the City Watch books, which is what Guards starts off. You have the Witches books. You have the Wizards books. You have the Moist von Lipwig books, which are about a con artist in the main city, which is Ankh-Morpork. The City Watch books take place there as well. And you have a bunch of standalones that kind of jump all over the place. You can read them pretty much in any order. I would say if you start with one of the sub-series, like if you start with the Witches, read the Witches books in order. If you start with the City Watch series, read the City Watch books in order. Well worth your time. Lots of laughs, lots of great deep themes in this book and in this series. It's just a ton of fun. I will keep coming back to Discworld again and again and again and again and again. I have not read all of Discworld. I've read a lot of it, but not all of it. But I will keep coming back for more because Discworld's absolutely incredible. All right, number 2, we have The Dresden Files by Jim Butcher. Mamma mia, I love Dresden so much. Wizard in modern-day Chicago solving supernatural crimes with the police is the very surface level opening to the first book. And then it goes crazy from there. You have all kinds of stuff in the modern day. You have wizards, you have warlocks, you have vampires, werewolves, you have the Fae, you have ancient gods and mythical creatures and fallen angels and everything else in this series. Harry Dresden is the main character. This is all written first person from Harry's point of view. Dresden is a really fun guy to follow around. He's just very protective. He wants to keep his friends safe. He wants to keep the people that are close to him safe. It's hard for him to do that sometimes. You get to really know Harry as a character. You get to dive deep into all the lives of the people you have in his life. You have Karen Murphy, who's a cop who works for the police in Chicago. Thomas, who's a white court vampire. There are 3 different courts of vampires in this series. You have his cat, Mister. I'm forgetting so many other characters. Michael Carpenter. Oh my God, one of the greatest characters ever, who's a Knight of the Cross, which you'll find out what that means if you decide to read this series. This series is a lot of fun, has a lot of wit, a lot of humor. It also has some sad moments, and it really takes you some places and explores some deep themes about fear and loss and trauma. I've read the whole series at least 3 times. I'm coming back for more at some point. I just read the newest one, which was 12 months, this spring, so I can't wait to do another reread of this. There are 18 books out right now and 2 collections of short stories. I think Jim said he's planning for 25 for when the series is going to be done. It's not finished yet. The 18 books that are out right now, they're all pretty short. There's not really any big chunky ones in this. They're kind of short, like case file books. It's just a lot of fun, and I'll keep coming back to this over and over and over again. Dresden Files, check it out. And number 1, my favorite book ever, and I am counting it as 1 book, not 3. Based on my background back here, you probably know what it is. It is The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. I am including all 3 books as 1 because A, I have a book where all 3 are in 1. B, because it's 1 story. I don't even know what to say about Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is what got me into fantasy in the first place. I watched the movies before I read the book and fell in love with the movies. I've watched the movies in extended editions probably 15, 16 times, and I still cry and feel all the emotions and get as invested in the story as I did the first time I watched it. The book is even better. The poetry and the prose that J.R.R. Tolkien puts into his world is absolutely incredible. The themes of friendship, loyalty, love, sacrifice are just incredible. The light versus dark, the world that he made, where he created 2 or 3, I think, languages for this world that are actual languages you can learn now. The writing is incredible. The story is incredible. I will come back to this story again and again and again and again and again over the years. It is my favorite story ever written. Lord of the Rings, the granddaddy of all fantasy. It is amazing. So that is my top 10 series of all time. I hope you enjoyed this list, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Throw some things down in the comments. If you watch this, throw me your top 10 down in the comments and see. Let's see where we differ. Let's see where we agree. You might be completely different than mine. Totally fine. This is a subjective list just based on my personal taste. This was really fun. Thank you again to Brandon for editing this. Love you, bro. I hope you all have a wonderful day out there. Be kind to each other.